Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, casually picking up change, when you spot an old coin tucked in the bottom of your pocket. It looks like just another ordinary dollar, but what if I told you it could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money? We're talking about the 1971 Eisenhower dollar, a coin that, to the untrained eye, may look like just another piece of American currency. However, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare coins, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Let's take a deeper dive into why the 1971 Eisenhower dollar is not just any coin and how some of these seemingly common pieces of currency can command incredible prices. The Eisenhower dollar was first minted in 1971, and it marked the return of the dollar coin to the United States after the peace dollar, which was last produced in 1935. The coin was named after President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was commemorated for his role in World War II and as a two-term president. The front of the coin features a portrait of Eisenhower, and the reverse features an image of the moon, in honor of the Apollo 11 moon landing, which occurred in 1969. This design made the coin iconic, but what many don't realize is that certain variations of the 1971 Eisenhower dollar can be worth a whole lot more than face value. So, what makes the 1971 Eisenhower dollar so special? The answer lies in the rarity of certain minting errors and the coin's overall condition. Most of the coins produced in 1971 were minted in large quantities, but a small number of them came out with some notable errors that make them rare and highly sought after by collectors. One such error that can increase the value of a 1971 Eisenhower dollar is the doubled die variety. Doubled die error occurs during the minting process when the die, the metal stamp used to imprint the design onto the coin, strikes the coin multiple times, creating a subtle doubling effect. This can be seen in certain areas of the design, such as the lettering or the date on the coin. For the 1971 Eisenhower dollar, this error is particularly rare, and coins with this doubling effect are highly valuable. Collectors and numismatists are always on the lookout for these mistakes, as they can make a coin worth far more than its intended value. If you find a 1971 Eisenhower dollar with a noticeable doubling on the date or lettering, it's likely you've found a treasure. Another important factor in determining the value of the 1971 Eisenhower dollar is its overall condition. Like all collectibles, a coin's grade plays a huge role in its worth. Coins that are in excellent condition, unworn, clean, and free from scratches or blemishes, are always worth more than those that have been circulated heavily and show signs of wear. A coin's grade is usually assessed on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing better conditions. If your 1971 Eisenhower dollar has sharp, clear details and looks as though it's just been pulled from a fresh batch of minting, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Now, let's talk about the specific rarity of the 1971 Eisenhower dollar. While millions of these coins were minted, only a few examples have survived in pristine condition, and even fewer with minting errors like the doubled die. The rarity of these coins is a key factor in why they can demand such high prices. Coin collectors are always searching for the rarest and most flawless examples, which makes high-quality, error-free coins incredibly valuable. So, how much could a 1971 Eisenhower dollar be worth? The truth is, the value of these coins can vary significantly depending on their condition and whether they have any errors. However, some of the rarest 1971 Eisenhower dollars have been known to sell for as much as $119,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $119,000. That's an extraordinary amount of money for a coin that was minted over 50 years ago. And it's proof of just how valuable these rare error coins can be. If you're holding a 1971 Eisenhower dollar, and you're wondering whether it's one of the rare and valuable ones, there are a few things you should check. First, look for any signs of the doubled die error, particularly in the date or the word Liberty. If you notice any doubling or misalignment in the design, you could have a coin that's worth far more than face value. Next, take a close look at the overall condition of the coin. If it's been well preserved and doesn't show much wear, it could be graded highly, which would increase its value. If you think your 1971 Eisenhower dollar might be valuable, your next step should be to have it professionally graded. A professional coin grading service can assess the condition of your coin, determine if there are any minting errors, and give you an official grade. This is essential because coin collectors are willing to pay more for coins that have been graded by experts and deemed to be in excellent condition or contain rare errors. In conclusion, the 1971 Eisenhower dollar is more than just a simple piece of American currency. Due to minting errors and its overall rarity, certain versions of this coin can be worth thousands, and in some cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare error coins, you could be holding on to a valuable collector's item worth as much as $119,000. So, the next time you come across a 1971 Eisenhower dollar, take a moment to inspect it carefully. Who knows, you might just have a small fortune sitting in your pocket. Top 2. Have you ever come across an old coin, thinking it's just another piece of change, but then realized it might be worth a small fortune? Well, the 1972 Eisenhower dollar could be just that coin for you. At first glance, it might look like just another dollar coin in circulation, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1972 Eisenhower dollar, explaining why certain versions of this coin are worth significantly more than its face value, and how one lucky find could be worth a staggering amount of money. The Eisenhower dollar was first minted in 1971 to commemorate President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a pivotal figure in American history, serving as both the Supreme Commander during World War II and later the 34th President of the United States. The coin features an iconic portrait of Eisenhower on the obverse, while the reverse showcases an eagle landing on the moon, a tribute to the historic Apollo 11 moon landing that took place in 1969. This unique design alone made the coin memorable, but little did most people know that a few rare variations of this coin would make it one of the most sought-after pieces of U.S. currency in the collector's world. So, why is the 1972 Eisenhower dollar so valuable? To understand its true worth, you have to look beyond just the design. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar was minted in large quantities, with millions of these coins being produced. While many of these coins were struck perfectly fine, some were produced with errors that make them incredibly rare and desirable for coin collectors. One of the most important errors to look out for on the 1972 Eisenhower dollar is the double die variety. A double die occurs when the die, the metal stamp used to imprint the design onto the coin, strikes the coin multiple times during the minting process. This results in a visible doubling effect, which can be seen on certain areas of the design, like the date or the inscription, Liberty. The doubling creates an offset image, which is subtle but distinctive. If you're lucky enough to find a 1972 Eisenhower dollar with a double die error, you're holding a rare coin that can fetch a high price in the market. This error is particularly sought after because it's rare, and coins featuring this flaw are highly prized by collectors who are eager to complete their collections of error coins. But the rarity of the coin isn't just about errors, it also has a lot to do with the condition of the coin. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. A coin that is well preserved, showing minimal wear and tear, is always more valuable than one that's been heavily circulated and damaged over the years. In fact, a 1972 Eisenhower dollar that is in pristine condition could be worth much more than a coin that has been worn down or scratched. Coins that are graded highly by experts can demand a premium price, especially when the coin is rare and in excellent condition. In the world of coin collecting, coins are typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. So, if you find a 1972 Eisenhower dollar in uncirculated, mint-like condition, it could be worth a significant amount more than a coin that's seen heavy use in circulation. High-grade coins attract serious collectors and investors, and this can drive up the price substantially. Now, let's talk about the specifics. How much can you expect the 1972 Eisenhower dollar to be worth? Well, depending on its condition and the presence of any rare errors, it could be worth a lot more than you would expect for a simple dollar coin. While most 1972 Eisenhower dollars in standard condition are worth just their face value, there are exceptional examples that can sell for a staggering $118,000. That's right, $118,000. Finding a 1972 Eisenhower dollar worth that much may seem like a long shot, but it's not impossible. Coins with minting errors, especially those with the double die flaw, can fetch prices in the five-figure range. And if the coin is in near-perfect condition with no visible signs of wear, its value can increase dramatically. The rarity and quality of the coin, combined with the demand for error coins, make this particular piece of currency an exciting and valuable collector's item. If you think you might have a 1972 Eisenhower dollar with a minting error or one that is in excellent condition, it's time to carefully inspect it. Start by looking for any signs of a double die error. Check the date and the word Liberty for any signs of doubling, which could indicate a valuable error coin. If you notice anything unusual, don't jump to conclusions just yet. Get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. Professional grading services are essential for determining the true value of your coin. These experts can assess the quality of your coin, identify any errors, and give it a grade, which will ultimately affect its market value. Once you have your coin graded and authenticated, you'll know exactly how much it's worth, and you'll be able to sell it for the best price possible if you decide to part with it. To wrap it all up, the 1972 Eisenhower dollar is far more than just a coin from the 1970s. With its unique design and the possibility of rare minting errors like the double die variety, this coin has become a collector's dream. If you happen to come across a 1972 Eisenhower dollar in great condition with one of these errors, you could be holding on to a coin worth as much as $118,000. So, the next time you see a 1972 Eisenhower dollar, take a closer look. You could be holding a rare treasure that could change your life. Top 3. Have you ever found an old coin that you thought was just another piece of currency, only to discover it might be worth a fortune? Well, if you have a 1974 Eisenhower dollar, you could be holding on to something much more valuable than you think. While the Eisenhower dollar was minted to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower, many of these coins have hidden secrets that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. In today's video, we'll explore why the 1974 Eisenhower dollar is so special, what makes some of these coins worth massive amounts of money, and how you could turn a seemingly ordinary coin into a treasure trove. The Eisenhower dollar, which was first minted in 1971, was designed to celebrate the life and legacy of President Eisenhower. The front of the coin features a portrait of the 34th president, while the back of the coin displays an eagle landing on the moon, a tribute to the Apollo 11 mission. These coins were initially created to be a larger, more symbolic form of currency, but over time, they've gained value for reasons that go beyond just their design. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar is particularly noteworthy because, like many coins produced in the 1970s, it contains some rare variations that make it valuable to collectors. These coins were minted in large quantities, but not all of them are equal in terms of rarity. Some of these coins feature unique minting errors, and it's these errors that can cause the value of the coin to skyrocket. One of the most significant types of errors that collectors look for is the double die variety. What is a double die error? In short, this is a mistake that happens during the minting process when the die, the metal stamp used to imprint the design onto the coin, strikes the coin multiple times, creating a visible doubling effect in certain areas. On a 1974 Eisenhower dollar, this doubling can be seen in the letters of the word Liberty, or the date 1974. This is a subtle yet noticeable mistake that makes the coin extremely valuable to collectors. The rarity of such errors is what drives up the price. Coins with this flaw are considered rarities, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. But what if your coin doesn't have a minting error? Don't worry, there's still a chance it could be worth more than just its face value. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, unworn, sharp, and free of scratches or discoloration, are much more valuable than those that have been circulated for years. In the world of coin collecting, condition is key. The better the condition, the higher the price a coin can command in the market. Coin grading experts use a scale from 1 to 70 to assess a coin's condition. A coin that has no visible wear and retains its original luster can be graded as high as MS70, mint state 70, which is the highest grade possible. A coin that has been well preserved is often worth significantly more than one that has been worn down over time. So, if your 1974 Eisenhower dollar is in near perfect condition, it could be worth far more than you would imagine. Now, let's get to the real question. How much is the 1974 Eisenhower dollar worth? Well, the value of these coins can vary depending on their condition, any minting errors, and the demand in the market. Most 1974 Eisenhower dollars in average condition are worth just $1 or $2. However, coins with minting errors, especially those with the double die variety, can fetch far higher prices. In fact, a 1974 Eisenhower dollar with the right minting error and in top-notch condition can be worth as much as $105,000. That's right, $105,000. That's a huge amount of money for a coin that you might have overlooked in your pocket change. It's proof that with the right combination of rarity, condition, and error, the 1974 Eisenhower dollar could be an absolute goldmine. Of course, it's important to note that not every 1974 Eisenhower dollar will be worth this much. But if you do find one with a rare error and in excellent condition, you could be holding onto a coin that will change your life. So, what should you look for to see if your 1974 Eisenhower dollar is worth a significant amount of money? The first step is to examine the coin carefully for any doubling effects in the design, especially on the date or the word Liberty. If you notice any doubling, that could be a sign of a double die error. Next, inspect the overall condition of the coin. Is it in excellent condition with no visible damage or signs of wear? The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Once you've identified a potential valuable coin, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Grading services are essential for determining the exact value of your coin. These experts will assess the quality of the coin, authenticate it, and assign it a grade. A higher grade means more money, and a professional grade will help you sell the coin for the best price possible. In conclusion, the 1974 Eisenhower dollar is far more than just a piece of currency from the 1970s. With its striking design and the potential for minting errors like the double die, this coin can be worth far more than its face value. If you happen to find a 1974 Eisenhower dollar in great condition, and it has one of these rare errors, it could be worth as much as $105,000. So, the next time you come across a 1974 Eisenhower dollar, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Take a closer look. You could be holding on to a rare and valuable treasure.